for whom the mission feels both impossible and emotional.
Bring the engine right here.
It's been a 4-day nightmare for firefighters in Southern California. Today, we went into LA's rustic Topanga Canyon. It's on the north flank of the Palisades fire. Flames, smoke, and a battle up and down the mountain. We rode along the twisty roads to find the heart of the firefight with Battalion Chief Brent Pasqua from CAL FIRE.
So we're doing everything we can right now to control the spread of this fire. If we can jump on this fire now, stop the spread of it, when the wind comes, we'll be in better shape to not have a fire escape out of our perimeter and keep this within the perimeter.
We're in the middle of the Palisades firefight right now. That is a Firehawk. It's a Black Hawk helicopter that has up to 1,000 gallons of water, dropping it right on some of the hottest spots of this wildfire.
The crews gave hope to residents who were fighting the fire themselves. They were relieved to look upward.
What impact did those airdrops have?
Well, tremendous impact, because the accuracy of those airdrops was unbelievable.
At times, the fire crews got a little bit of help from residents. We met one woman, 6 months pregnant.
Tell me what you're doing right now.
Trying to save my house.
The firefighters exhausted, but on a mission to save lives and homes. Like Captain Craig Blevins, already on duty for nearly 30 hours when we spoke to him.
We showed up here yesterday morning about 5 a.m.
You haven't slept?
Not really.
But you're going to go as long as it takes?
Yeah.
How tough has it been fighting the winds?
Yeah, you can't really beat the winds.
This was like an 80-mile-an-hour blowtorch, just heating each house up and lighting it on fire one after the other. You couldn't believe it. If we had a crew at every house, we still would have had a heck of a firefight on our hands.
There's nothing left here.
It's so hard to see. You know, this is not what we do this job for. We come to win, and you can see one house is standing, but our goal is for all of them to be standing. So this is hard to see for sure. Yeah, do you see how...
On our ride, we saw this burnt-out shell, gray and ghostly. Hard to believe this was actually someone's home.
Luckily, the tree is still standing,
But it belonged to Greg and Jennifer Champion and their 3 daughters. They were waiting at a checkpoint, but weren't allowed to get in to see their home of 2 years. But CAL FIRE Battalion Chief Pasqua brought us there so we could report back.
I wanted to find something for them, maybe a photo or a toy, anything to bring back to the family to say this survived, but there's nothing. The only thing I can find is this right here. It's some type of decoration. Maybe it was here in the living room. It's a ring of shells. I hope it means something to them. I'm going to give it to them. I'd try to see if there's anything I could grab. This is the only thing I found. I don't know if it means anything.
Oh,
yeah,
I actually do really love this.
The memento brought memories and then tears.
I do love it. No, thank you so much. Little treasures.
This family was grateful to be alive and grateful to the firefighters who tried to save their neighborhood.
Along with the wind and flames, something else is flying in L.A. Questions. This city has seen fires before, so why is this time so much worse? And what can be done to stop it from happening again? Here's Josh Mankiewicz.
If you live in Southern California, you expect the wind to blow. You do not expect it to bring death. So what went wrong this time? The answer is just about everything.
We had 80 to 100 mile per hour gusts. Those are hurricane force winds.
NBC meteorologist Dylan Dreyer was in Los Angeles and witnessed the devastation firsthand.
This is all that's left of this school. There hasn't been significant rain since October, so everything is bone dry. All it takes is a spark.
Wildfires are often best fought from above. That didn't work as well this time. Pomona College professor Char Miller is an expert on wildfires.
When the winds are at 40 miles an hour, they cannot fly into these canyons, fly over these areas. Now double that airspeed to 80, and you'll understand the dilemma they faced.
Often that wind overwhelmed the work of the fire department's boots on the ground.
As a fire boss once told me, when the wind is 10 miles an hour, I'm a firefighter. When it's 30 miles an hour, I'm an observer.
It was during that first night that water ran short in some areas because firefighters had used so much of it.
This hydrant has no water in it.
What is going on with the water situation?
We have had some issues with water. If you stick enough straws into a glass of water, it's going to empty faster.
Even if you turn every fire hydrant on, the more water you're running, the less pressure you have. And without that water pressure, how do you get it strong enough from the hoses to put out these fires?
Some people in LA wanted more than explanations, like this resident who confronted California Governor Gavin Newsom.
What are you going to do with the president right now?
We're getting the resources to help rebuild. We're getting
Why
the
was there
resources.
no water in the hydrants, Governor?
That's all literally.
Is it going to be different next time?
It has to be.
This afternoon, Governor Newsom asked for an independent investigation into the loss of water pressure. Stories online link the destruction to cuts in the LA Fire Department's budget. The full picture is a little more complex. At a time when cities everywhere are prioritizing police funding, LA's fire chief argued to the mayor that less money for overtime impacted the department's ability to provide service.
There were no reductions that were made that would have impacted the situation that we were dealing with over the last couple of days.
For some, the truth was simpler and also tougher to hear. Firefighters and first responders were simply outmatched.
The winds were too strong, the flames were too intense, the topography was too dangerous, and that's a perfect storm, and a very dangerous one.
Professor Miller says today's crisis and tomorrow's will require a big discussion and some decisive action from our political leaders.
These fires are getting bigger, and we need resources to be able to fight them to sustain life in this region.
There's no question that in the years to come, millions will remain in harm's way, either by choice or necessity. Professor Miller says there are ways to make communities safer and more resilient. It won't be easy. It will take political consensus, long-term commitments, and significant investment. The stakes could not be higher.
We've got capital that can be invested in it, but if the Southern California can't fix this problem, it's not fixable. Then it means that California is not livable.
Coming up, despite the horror and tragedy, there are glimmers of good news tonight, stories of bravery and ingenuity when we come back. As horrifying and heartbreaking as the scenes of destruction are, many LA residents remain determined to protect what they can, whether risking their own safety to track down the family pet or picking up a garden hose to save a home. Small acts of gumption show us there's one thing that cannot be extinguished: the human spirit. Here's Liz Kreutz.
The scenes of destruction and devastation across Los Angeles over the last 4 days and nights are almost too much to comprehend.
Here on PCH, home after home after home of these beachfront properties destroyed. Usually their view, the Pacific Ocean, now just ashes and smoke.
This is all that's left of the house Steve Wiggins shared with his parents.
We lost all our things. His partners, all our photographs, and all my grandpa's antique chest and all that kind of stuff, you know.
But also buried in the rubble, something else. A small sense of hope.
That's all right. We're survivors. We'll get through it. We'll build another home.
Go, hey, go this way.
Amid all the chaos and pain this week, we've seen many signs of resilience, too.
A fire is literally on the hill where I live.
What's going through your mind when you see that?
I hope to God my dogs are okay. They're my family.
Yeah, clearly your dogs mean everything to you.
I don't care about the house. I care about my dog.
Casey Colvin lives in Pacific Palisades and left his home in the morning before the fires began. never expecting what would happen next.
I got an evacuation order at like 11 in the morning on my phone. My boss is actually calling me saying, is everything okay in the Palisades? I said, I'm in the city, I don't know.
His first and only thought was for his little dogs waiting for him at home.
I literally rescued them off the street. They deserve better than this.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
How do I get to my house?
We're gonna, okay.
The next hour was the longest Casey can remember.
He just came to me, though, and said that the first responders who saw him went to his home and checked on his dogs.
Moments later.
You got the dog?
Yeah, this is my daughter. The behavioral dog, he ran out of the house, though.
Do you know where the other one is?
No, I have an air tag on him, but it doesn't seem to be working.
Oh.
Here's the other leash.
Oh, what's her name or his name?
Tika, Tika, Tika.
Casey is hopeful his other dog will also be home soon. On the other side of town, as the fires raged, Abraham Kevorkian took a huge risk. But the next day, he had a huge reward.
My driveway, they're coming. The embers are all coming.
What happened? That you basically were the last man standing on the street?
Right now, it seems like I'm the last man standing in the street.
Abraham and his wife went to sleep with the fire in the mountains, far away. But then,
when we woke up, I see a big blaze of red right there where the school area is, right? You can see the school now because there's no homes left.
It was time to go.
We started packing up. I packed all the stuff in the car, and I told her, go ahead and take off. I'll follow you.
But Abraham didn't follow his wife.
Whatever I can get water on, I'm doing it.
Abraham says he never got an evacuation notice, but when he saw the house across the street in flames, he decided to stay, even though firefighters urged him to leave.
I see a cloud of smoke, fire, embers, just like a rain flying over me. So all I'm doing is just with a hose, just like, because it got so hot, the embers were just falling down.
With no time to think, Abraham just kept doing.
I did whatever I can to hose. Then I realized that some embers had fallen next to the neighbor's house. I'm like, oh, shit. So I went and grabbed his hose. I noticed that there was more water pressure. After that, I started running around, spraying other people's neighbors' rooftops.
For hours, Abraham says he sprayed water on his house and his neighbors.
I said, I'm still alive. I just gotta keep fighting. There's nobody coming here. There's nobody on the street except me. And I just kept going with the water.
Abraham knew it was a big risk, the kind authorities urged people not to take. But the next morning, he was still standing, and so was his house.
If I didn't stay, I believe, if I didn't stay and wet this whole roof over and over again, I think it would have caught on fire and the house would have been lost. I believe that. I think that I did save this house. If I had more water, I think I would have done more. I would have helped everybody that I can in my power. Why not?
What is your hope for this community?
I'll come back and rebuild it. Oh yeah, don't give up. Don't just walk away. You know, sometimes we have to start all over again.
When we come back, Keith Morrison, longtime Angelino, with his thoughts on what's next for L.A., a remarkable, some say impossible city. Los Angeles, a sprawling, singular city that traffics in fantasy, knows real-life tragedy and catastrophe all too well. L.A. also knows how to battle back. How does it keep beating the odds? As Keith Morrison tells us, it has more than movie magic.
What a crazy idea it is. What a bit of madness. This vast, sprawling city, collection of cities, on an earthquake-prone, drought-prone, fire-prone desert by the sea. What were we thinking? Even the water to drink, water to fight the fires, imported from somewhere else, like the people. And yes, it is glorious and inspired, and has given the whole world 100 years of drama and joy and laughter. Its names and faces known and loved and loathed by humans everywhere.
Can I help you load the chairs in?
And every once in a while, it is just impossible.
I'm trying to find my dad.
Which is how living in L.A. feels to a lot of people just now. Impossible and terrifying.
The flames were just kind of leaping right over us.
This one, many fires at once, is perhaps the worst of them. But there are so many, many stories in the history of this great benighted city. There has been so much loss.
Fire has jumped Mulholland at the crest of the Santa Monica. It's headed toward Bel Air.
Rare is the Angelino who remembers this one personally.
Fire crews are
This was 1961, and it was Bel Air. This one destroyed 484 homes, chewed through 6,000 acres of prime real estate. Burt Lancaster's house burned down, and Joan Fontaine's and Zsa Zsa Gabor's and Dennis Hopper's.
I'm Tom Brokaw over Laguna Beach, California.
This is the one they call the Great Fire of '93. Took out a giant swath of Laguna. And there were more. Have always been more. One fire after another some years through the Santa Ana winds of winter so dry that pliant oak and chaparral shriveled to kindling, practically begged to be burned. How often have bits of Malibu gone down in flames to take multi-million-dollar mansions with them? Are we keeping track of the fires and the droughts and the floods and the earthquakes and the gridlock and housing prices that are clearly insane? And still we come here. Because there is something about Los Angeles, this siren of a city by the sea, that pulls us in and makes us stay even if we tell ourselves we probably shouldn't. Will it be different this time, now that it's worse, much worse? That Great Fire of '93 took out something like 700 houses. This time, 31 years later, more than 10,000 homes have been lost. We'll argue, of course, about mitigation practices, about what we should have done, and about climate change for sure. Is that what made this one so big, so bad? But here is an easy prediction. Though it will be very difficult, it will all be rebuilt. And most of us will stay. And more will come to this great mess of a city, even if, at the moment, it feels like the end of the world.
Thanks, Keith, for reminding us of the strange power of that captivating city, one that keeps so many of us coming back in good times and sometimes even bad. You can continue to follow the story with live updates on NBCNews.com and the NBC News app. And we'll have much more tomorrow on Today and NBC Nightly News. Your local news is next. I'm Lester Holt. For all of us at NBC News, good night. Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
5 minutes ago, she'd never played piano. Can you believe she's been playing 1 week? And that's just 2 months. And him, 6 months playing with the Ridley method. And that's 1 year of playing. This is how fast you can learn the piano with the Ridley method, a new way that allows you to master the piano faster and easier than traditional methods, so that you can get to the fun of playing piano right now. If you take traditional piano lessons or watch YouTube videos or use apps, it could take you 10 or 15 years to master the piano. Learning piano takes forever! My name is Stephen Ridley, and I've been a concert pianist for more than 10 years. But more importantly, I've helped more than 1 million students learn the piano with this new method.
I was dreaming my whole life that I want to learn on piano. I didn't expect that it can be that fast.
I'm very happy because now I'm writing my own songs, and I felt so empowered and supported.
So after about 3 weeks of the practice, but I can play whatever I want.
Every day for me is a win because I get faster and faster and faster. It's been the greatest thing ever.
So, to get you started, I've created a free online piano masterclass. To participate, it's super easy. Just click the link below, enter your name and email, and we'll send you a direct link. And if you don't have a piano right now, I'm gonna give away a $4,000 piano for free to one attendee during the event. You don't need to practice for months or years to have fun playing the piano. With this new method, you can start playing your favorite songs today. So, click the link below, and I'll see you there. See you there!
Los Angeles wildfires. What's happening and what are the causes? How did 2025 begin with one of the deadliest disasters in California's history? On January 7th, a catastrophic chain of wildfires broke out across the Los Angeles metro area, destroying over 10,300 structures and displacing nearly 180,000 residents. Tragically, 10 lives were lost. But that's not even the wildest part. The Santa Ana winds kicked in, making it nearly impossible to contain the fire, which had been burning for days. The fires that kicked off in the Palisades region really spread through the Hollywood Hills, hitting the Sunset area and moving on to the Eaton, Hearst, and Lydia fires. The big question of this video is, was it the Santa Ana winds that quickly turned the wildfire into one of California's most horrifying tragedies? Could this devastation have been prevented, or was it inevitable? California has a long history of devastating wildfires, but in 2025 the fires are quite different in both scale and timing. Typically, fires in California occur during the hot summer months, but this year they erupted in January, a time usually marked by wetter weather. The impact has been catastrophic. More than 7,500 committed personnel are currently battling the fires. They've rolled out 1,162 fire engines to provide ground support and keep the flames in check. On top of that, 31 helicopters are doing aerial water drops, with 6 big water tankers focusing on the hard-to-reach hotspots. Still, the flames have been proving difficult to contain. Even Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna said the destruction looked like an atomic bomb had been dropped in the area, and one resident, Sue Pasco, had just these few words to say.
This fire is not going to take my memories away. I'm keeping my memories.
Let's find out what really happened. By January 7th, 2025, northern Los Angeles was in chaos, with massive wildfires tearing through the area. 3 huge blazes had already erupted, but one stood out for its sheer ferocity: the Palisades Fire. It started early Tuesday morning at 10:30 a.m. in Altadena, a town in the hills above Pasadena. By midnight, it had grown wildly, burning through 3,000 acres. Homes and buildings were destroyed, and the damage was so bad that firefighters couldn't keep up with how much was lost. No one knows exactly what started the fire, but everything was set for a disaster. The Santa Ana winds, strong and dry, blew in from the northeast, speeding up as they hit the hills and mountains around Los Angeles. These winds are infamous for making fire spread fast. They dried the air and the land even more, turning everything into kindling. Weather maps showed the areas hit hardest by these winds, with streaks of pink and purple marking the danger zones. With gusts reaching 60 miles per hour, even firefighting planes couldn't fly safely. Fire officials said the mix of dry winds, low humidity, and parched ground made it one of the toughest fires they'd ever faced.
Here's to a healthier me with these must-haves for healthy days. The Oura Ring 4 gets me going in the morning. The Ring, along with the Oura membership, helps me prioritize my long-term health goals. It tracks more than 30 biometrics, so I get personal insights that help me know what my body needs. The design is so sleek and it's so comfortable, I didn't even realize I'm wearing it. Healthy days need healthy meals. The Ninja Detect Power Blender Pro whips up the smoothest smoothies and so much more. BlendSense technology detects and adjusts blending time, speed, and pulses for perfectly smooth results. The Withings Body Smart Scale keeps me honest with advanced body composition. I get a comprehensive view of my body with metrics like body fat, water percentage, and all the masses: muscle mass, bone mass, and lean mass. And data from every weigh-in appears automatically via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth in the Withings app. Lastly, I approach every day with a clean cut, thanks to Manscaped, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra Essentials Kit. It comes with the Ultra Electric Trimmer to trim, shave, and shape, plus the Crop Soother Aftershave Lotion for the best below-the-waist shave. I'm feeling better already.
The setup for disaster started months earlier. Southern California had suffered through an unusually hot summer, and the so-called wet season delivered next to no rain. Rainfall maps showed a huge swath of brown surrounding Los Angeles, marking areas that hadn't seen nearly enough water. It was the perfect storm: dry land, dry air, and winds ready to fan any spark into an unstoppable blaze. When the Palisades fire hit, it was like striking a match in a tinderbox. Thousands of residents, including some of the wealthiest in the area, were forced to evacuate their homes, watching helplessly as their luxurious mansions and beloved memories went up in flames. The human impact was huge. By Wednesday night, the Palisades fire had burned through more than 16,000 acres, and over 3,000 people had been told to evacuate. Families had to pack up and leave, unsure if they'd ever come back to a home. Rich or poor, it didn't matter. The fire didn't pick favorites. Entire communities were wiped out, leaving people with nothing. Losing a house isn't just about losing a roof over your head. It's about losing memories, comfort, and a place you've worked hard for. But the Palisades fire wasn't the only one. All across California, other fires were causing trouble too. The Hearst fire broke out near San Fernando and quickly grew to 850 acres, forcing evacuations in Santa Clarita. The Lydia fire started in Mount Misery, Acton, and burned 350 acres before firefighters got it partly under control. Smaller fires like the Woodley and Olivia's fires caused less damage, but were still reminders of how dangerous fire season can be. And then there was the Sunset Fire in the Hollywood Hills, burning right in the middle of one of Los Angeles' most famous areas. It scorched 50 acres and forced people to evacuate, with firefighters scrambling to keep it from spreading further. Firefighters worked tirelessly, but the conditions were against them. The winds kept pushing the fires forward, and the dry land made everything burn faster. Resources were stretched thin as crews tried to tackle multiple blazes at once. Planes couldn't take off because of the wind, leaving firefighters on the ground to do the best they could. The fires kept growing, showing no mercy to the people, homes, or wildlife in their path. This wildfire season is one of the worst California has ever seen, and it's not over yet. Fires like the Palisades fire show how much harder things have become. The long, dry summers and lack of rain aren't just bad luck. They're signs of how the climate is changing. Wildfires are becoming a regular disaster, and people are being forced to live with the fear that it could happen again at any time. The question of whether this event could have been prevented is both critical and interesting. Before we dive into that, though, let's set the stage with a bit more context. For years, Californians have lived with the constant threat of wildfires. The state's dry, hot summers and strong seasonal winds, combined with dense forests and overgrown brush, have created the perfect recipe for fire disasters. As California's population grew, people became more aware of this risk and tried to manage it. Early on, this was done through large-scale logging, which thinned out forests and controlled burns, fires that were purposely set and then quickly put out to clear dangerous amounts of brush. These measures helped reduce fire risk for a time, but things began to change toward the end of the 20th century as environmental movements gained more influence. New laws cracked down on logging, portraying tree cutting as harmful to nature, even when it came to removing dead trees that could fuel fires. Controlled burns were also discouraged, as many argued it was better to let nature run its course. Around the same time, housing costs in big cities skyrocketed, and developers began building more homes on the outskirts of urban areas, right up against wilderness zones. This meant more people were living closer to fire-prone areas, putting lives and property at even greater risk.
You've got the power of your routine. Your daily rituals give you the confidence and endurance to tackle whatever the day might have in store. The best brands are powered by routine, and the best routines are powered by recharge.
Wildfires can start in many ways: lightning strikes, careless campers, cigarettes tossed out of car windows, or even arson. But one of the biggest culprits is power lines. In 2018, nearly half of California's wildfires were sparked by electrical problems, and it's easy to see why. Much of California's power infrastructure is shockingly old. Many power towers were built before 1950, and the equipment most likely to fail and cause sparks are those old lines. One tragic example is the 2018 Camp Fire, the deadliest wildfire in California's history. It wiped out the town of Paradise and claimed the lives of 85 people. Investigations revealed that the fire was caused by Pacific Gas and Electric, PG&E, the state's largest energy company's equipment dating back to 1921, nearly 100 years old. PG&E knew its aging infrastructure was a serious hazard, but had shifted its resources towards renewable energy projects instead of urgently fixing the problem. The consequences were devastating. Here's something also interesting. A potentially leaked letter from LA Fire Chief Kristen Cowley, dated December 7, 2024, cautioned Mayor Karen Bass about the consequences of recent budget cuts. In the letter, Crowley noted that the $17 million reduction in the department's budget significantly hindered its ability to prepare for, train for, and respond to large-scale emergencies, including wildfires. These warnings weren't attended to. So how did we get here? It's a combination of choices and policies that over time have increased fire risks. Efforts to protect the environment, while important, unintentionally limited tools like logging and controlled burns that helped manage forests. California's wildfires aren't just about weather or bad luck. They're about how a series of decisions, well-meaning but sometimes short-sighted, have added fuel to the fire. What should we do going forward? As of the time of this writing, we don't value the damages that have resulted from these fire outbreaks. However, as California continues to face devastating wildfires, finding effective solutions for 2025 is crucial. Moving forward, we need a multifaceted approach that combines advanced technology, community preparedness, and proactive land management. First, investment in early warning systems using artificial intelligence and real-time data will help residents evacuate in time. Creating more resilient power grids by undergrounding cables and deploying smart sensors can prevent sparks that ignite fires during dry and windy conditions. Additionally, deploying drones for real-time monitoring of fire spread can give firefighters critical insights to manage resources more efficiently. On the ground, improving forest and brush management through controlled burns and targeted thinning can reduce fuel loads and prevent large-scale fires from starting. Partnering with local communities to educate them on fire-resistant landscaping and evacuation routes is vital for preparedness. Finally, increased collaboration between government agencies, fire departments, and tech companies can ensure data sharing and rapid response. By combining advanced technology, proactive land management, and community education, California can better prepare for and respond to wildfires in 2025. Well, that's all for today. It's pretty unsettling to think about, but we're just a few weeks into 2025, and there are some serious disasters on the horizon. If you're curious about which volcanoes might be the most dangerous this year, make sure to check out the 5 most possible dangerous volcanic eruptions of 2025. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Click the link right here to watch now. Thanks for watching.
The key to being rich is knowing what counts.
I hope you put this community back to what it was, because that's what we deserve.
One man's excruciating choice to stay behind the fire lines to protect his home. On this Sunday night, the fight to stay ahead of the unrelenting flames in Southern California, as Canada and Mexico send support to the United States in the face of choice words from its president-elect.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. Canada should be a 51st state.
Political power play.
He's quite dangerous because he doesn't understand what he's talking about.
Why one of the world's wealthiest men is whipping up the far right in Europe. Plus, the Alberta Premier's Florida foray. Danielle Smith takes an impromptu trip to Mar-a-Lago.
Global National. Reporting tonight, Sarah McDonald.
Another night of water bombings in Southern California as firefighters continue to battle multiple catastrophic wildfires in and around Los Angeles. Progress is being made with smaller fires in the region now mostly contained, but an uphill battle remains against the massive Palisades and Eaton fires, which have already destroyed entire communities. Good evening and thanks for joining us. On top of that destruction, at least 16 people are now confirmed casualties of the raging wildfires devastating Southern California. And officials say the threat has far from passed, with strong winds and gusts of up to 112 kilometers an hour in the forecast for the coming days.
Tomorrow, winds will be picking up, as you heard, further, complicating our efforts and creating an additional fire danger. And so the atmosphere is very continuously changing. We have to adapt to the conditions that are presented to us.
Thousands of homes and livelihoods are already in ruins because of the fires. Houses reduced to ash is an all too common sight in Altadena, a middle-class neighborhood not as wealthy as the Palisades and also now unrecognizable. Our Nitu Garcha is on the ground there tonight. Nitu.
Sarah, we are in the Altadena area of Los Angeles, which has been hard hit by the Eaton fire. Here behind me, you can see entire rows of homes that have been reduced to rubble. But this home over here is still standing because of the efforts of one man who never left this house. He described to us the harrowing account of fighting off a wall of flames with a garden hose.
And as you could see, this fence caught on fire.
Defying evacuation warnings, Felipe Carrillo made a dangerous and desperate attempt to try and save his home and that of a few neighbors in Altadena.
So the flames were coming this way. See? So maybe that's how I got burned, because I was sitting here like this.
After a few hours, he says the water stopped, so he turned to his pool and some dirt to put out hot spots while embers rained down from the sky.
I had my truck right at the end of the driveway. I had the keys were right ready to go. Worst comes to worst, jump in it. I can go right, left. I had my escape route.
The husband and father of two says he didn't see firefighters until the next day.
When you're in the moment, you don't think about it. Initially, my goal was to wet the house and leave. I knew if I left, there would be nothing standing. So I couldn't live with myself or live with the fact that at least I didn't try.
He works for Highway Patrol. His wife is an elementary school teacher. They've lived here since 2009.
We put our life savings into this house. We have two great children.
Can you, put food out for them now?
He says this phone call from his daughter serves as a reminder of the kind of cherished belongings he risked it all for, like her bird feeder. Your daughter made this.
She made this. My 10-year-old made this.
And his son's baseball all-star sign.
I saw it on fire and I wet it and I pulled it out of the grass and I threw it right here with the rest of the stuff.
The community's struggle has been compounded by a critical issue, water. The New York Times reports power shutoffs intended to prevent new ignitions inadvertently knocked out the pumps firefighters rely on.
We're not a third world country. We're America. And you're telling me in America we don't have water? There's something wrong here.
The LA County water system is ready and it will be prepared to assist us in fighting a wildland fire.
The death toll in the Altadena area from the Eaton wildfire has continued to climb as search efforts are ongoing.
We searched approximately 364 properties in the Altadena area, and unfortunately during that search, we did locate 3 deceased.
Would you call this a second-degree burn?
While firefighters expressed gratitude for his actions,
well, we're going to do whatever we can. We'll keep checking on you.
They reinforced the reality of the risks Carrillo took. They're urging everyone to heed the warnings from officials to evacuate when told to do so. Has it hit you that you may not have survived this fight?
No. I could have died here.
A curfew remains in place and officials are working to determine the cause of these fires. Everyone here is on edge going into this coming week with more wind gusts in the forecast. The firefight is expected to get even more intense in the days to come. Sarah?
Nitu Garcha in Altadena, California. Thank you, Nitu.
Don't pay anything to fix your roof. New York City homeowners can get a free roof while paying $0 out of pocket, saving upwards of $25,000. So if your roof is leaking, damaged, or if it's old, keep watching this video to see the easiest and fastest way to get a brand new roof for your home for free. And no, this is not some type of hack patch job. It's a full roof replacement. Most people pay $10,000 or upwards of even $25,000 to get the roof replaced, but you don't have to. There is a new program called the Roof Rescue Program that's giving New York City homeowners access to special funding that can be used to get you a brand new roof at no cost. So if you own a home in Queens, the Bronx, Brooklyn, or Staten Island, and your roof is leaking, damaged, or even if it's just old, you should be able to qualify. So if you want to see if you can get a brand new roof for free, click the button below now. What's going to happen is you'll be taken to a new page where you can submit your name to get on the list of homeowners in New York City who want a new roof for free. Now, these roofs are given on a first come, first served basis. Now, after you submit your name to get on that list, someone from the Roof Rescue Program is going to reach out to you to let you know if you qualify and how soon you can expect to get your new roof installed. So if you need a new roof, don't pay tens of thousands of dollars for it. click the button below now, get your name on that list. Worst case scenario, you don't qualify. But best case scenario, you get to save upwards of $25,000 and get a brand new roof completely covered for free by the Roof Rescue Program.
The hardest thing is obviously finding products to sell and then getting authorized to sell those products. So with Ecom Authority, they've been able to do that.
We're going to set you up on Walmart. We're going to pick out your inventory so that you get started with the right tools in place. Our success is tied to yours, which is why we're focused on supporting your growth from day one. I started from really humble beginnings. My first job was Sheetz gas station, making $9 an hour, and I had a lot of luck and a lot of success in the real estate world. That made me a millionaire, and everything was going really, really well, but it was very transactional. If I didn't build the house or flip the house, I wasn't making any money. And during COVID, when everything shut down, I didn't have any more liquidity events. I almost lost it all, and that's when I found e-commerce and really got in my stride at this, and it provided cash flow for me and security. And then I started hitting up my real estate buddies and all of that, and just really told them about the cash flow potential that this business has. And we've been really blessed, me and Dan have been really blessed to build the business to what it is today and be able to provide that to other people so that they don't, almost lose it all like I did.
After investing in 3 other joint venture partners and having them all fail, we talked to the head guys here and was very impressed.
This is some of the products we're selling on the day-to-day. We focus on like consumable goods, things that people are gonna buy regardless of a recession, a pandemic, and then we have some high-end electronics just because the margin's that good. Doesn't matter if you lose your job or anything like that, you still gotta wipe your butt, you still gotta shower, still gotta clean, so we're focused on sustainability and scalability. We have some other electronics we get such a good brand price here with wholesale pricing that we can sell at a below retail margin. So again, this is one of our facilities that we pick and prep out of, so we're gonna have a multitude of facilities. We also have relationships with freight brokers, so we're not paying these heinous shipping prices. We ship pallets for very, very cheap.
Me and Francisco, actually, tomorrow we're leaving, we're going to a trade show that's all toys. Because now we're like, okay, we need to get toys because the holiday season, that stuff just sells like crazy, right?
So you're gonna have all of our brands here, Shark, Procter & Gamble, we got some AOC, some Acer stuff. You're using all our proven systems, processes, all our brand approvals.
Because again, we have the same goal. We want you guys to sell as much as possible to keep rebuying because that's what keeps our operation going.
If one guy gets upset or his store goes down, it's not worth the risk for our reputation. We've taken the best of both worlds, right? People wanted to buy drop shipping stores because, hey, I don't have to float inventory. If it doesn't sell, I don't risk any money. I think that what you should be looking for in an operator is someone that cares about the longevity of the business, and anyone pushing this drop shipping model understands that it's basically gone, right? You may have a few more good months, but if you get your account shut down, all your money's gone. And you don't want an operator that's willing to take that risk when you can have infrastructure like this, you can have the processes and the systems that you need versus taking that risk and really playing with a lot of people's money. So with us here at Ecom Authority, we have clients from all walks of life, doctors, pediatricians, teachers, retirees, business owners that want to add another stream of income to their already cash flowing businesses. We're looking for a business partner. We're looking for someone that understands that they want to scale. We're looking for people that want to take action and get started ASAP.
We really like about it is the openness and the communication is very good, and they answer my questions, they're right on it, and so we're very comfortable, looking forward to ramping up our store.
We pick the products, we procure the products, we sell the products, we handle all customer support. You need to have someone that's invested in infrastructure, invested in the brand relationships, and invested in the team that they built, because at the end of the day, you're trusting an operator to run the business, and that's why we are the authority in the business, in the e-com space in general.
What would you tell somebody that's kind of like on the fence about doing this, please?
Go for it.
Yeah. So what I've done is I've attached a link below where you can hop on a call with one of our dedicated account representatives to see if it's a good fit. See you there.
It is still impossible to know the full scope of the tragedy in Los Angeles, but as we have reported, 16 deaths have so far been confirmed in the city's worst disaster since the Northridge earthquake of 1994. Tonight, we're beginning to learn more about those who died. 83-year-old Rodney Nickerson and 66-year-old Victor Shaw were trying to protect their homes when flames from the Eaton fire surrounded them. Former child star Rory Sykes, who was born blind and with cerebral cerebral palsy, also died in Malibu as his mother was trying to reach him.
He was my baby, and he died needlessly. Guess what didn't work? 911. All the phone lines were down. No.
5 minutes ago, she'd never played piano. Can you believe she's been playing 1 week? And that's just 2 months. And him, 6 months playing with the Ridley method. And that's 1 year of playing. This is how fast you can learn the piano with the Ridley method, a new way that allows you to master the piano faster and easier than traditional methods, so that you can get to the fun of playing piano right now. If you take traditional piano lessons or watch YouTube videos or use apps, it could take you 10 or 15 years to master the piano. Learning piano takes forever! My name is Stephen Ridley, and I've been a concert pianist for more than 10 years. But more importantly, I've helped more than 1 million students learn the piano with this new method.
I was dreaming my whole life that I want to learn on piano. I didn't expect that it can be that fast.
I'm very happy because now I'm writing my own songs, and I felt so empowered and supported.
So after about 3 weeks of practice, but I can play whatever I want.
Every day for me is a win because I get faster and faster and faster. It's been the greatest thing ever.
So, to get you started, I've created a free online piano masterclass. To participate, it's super easy. Just click the link below, enter your name and email, and we'll send you a direct link. And if you don't have a piano right now, I'm gonna give away a $4,000 piano for free to one attendee during the event. You don't need to practice for months or years to have fun playing the piano. With this new method, you can start playing your favorite songs today. So, click the link below, and I'll see you there.
Wait, I was sleeping. I had nowhere to sleep.
See you there!
Get out of here. Let's go. Get out of here! I only needed somewhere to sleep. And we're going to start back to business. Tara, doon na kami ito kumain. Copy. Kumain ito.
It's fucking taking off out here on the snow. Oh, the building's done.
Terra is the IT painkiller. Remote monitoring and management, remote access, help desk and ticketing.
When you hear music like this,